the UFC, which is enjoying huge success right now, especially with younger viewers, younger male viewers. You look at their press conference, and specifically the press conference from one of their champions, Sean Strickland, and it's the opposite of politically correct. It's the opposite of woke. And in its own way, it's kind of refreshing.
So they let you into Canada.
Oh, this guy. Yeah, man. Here. It was actually really easy to get in here. Really easy. Yeah.
Sean, Neil Davidson from the Canadian Press. Welcome to Canada.
Oh, congratulations. Yeah. The Canadian Press, man. Were you a COVID bank account stealer too? Were you on board with that?
No.
Are you left wing or right wing? Were you a Trudeau? We got one of the commies with a press. We got to know where this man stands. Were you non-biased?
I think I'll ask the questions here.
Oh, he thinks he'll ask. Oh, we no. Maybe I should just pass on this motherfucker. He's gonna go back. He's gonna go back and give my bank account information to Trudeau.
All right. Listen, the language might be a bit much for you, and I get it. I mean, this guy, he's an athlete whose sole job is to get inside a cage and beat the hell out of somebody who's trying to beat the hell out of him, okay? He's kind of unpolished, right? He is who he is. But isn't there something kind of refreshing when you actually call out the reporters, when you know exactly who they are and what their agenda is, and you get there before they do? Oh, and by the way, Sean Strickland is just getting started.
Probably a good bank account. I wanted to ask you about what life has been like as a champion. I'm sure there have been a lot of pluses, but maybe a few minuses. You're in the public eye now. What has it been like in the short time since you've had the belt?
Oh man, guys, nothing changes, man. You go to Walmart, you get recognized more, but like, my bank account's a little bigger. I mean, it's a little bigger. It's not much bigger. It was a little bigger. I'm not gonna retire after this one, win or lose. I'm not gonna go lay in a bathtub with flower petals, but I don't know, man. It's like, do you guys think that you get a belt and like everything changes? Like, what do you think happens? Like, I get a belt and everything, like all of a sudden, like my made of gold. Like, what do you guys think happens? I get like, what do you think? Nothing changes. I'm still the same asshole. I just have the metal. I'm sure it's not even gold. I just have a metal gold-plated belt in front of me.
Hey, Sean, over here. I saw you train with Johnny Eblin.
Oh, he's a Canadian.
That's right.
You're not a dirty liberal, though. I've known you for a while. You don't ruin our friendship. Are you a liberal?
I'm not a liberal. No.
Okay.
I didn't vote for Trudeau. Johnny Eblin, what was it like getting a train with?
Wait, hold on. I do love that he identified the way he says Canadian. Oh, here's another Canadian, if you know what I mean. We're actually very popular in Canada. This show is. We've been tracking the zip codes on the YouTube views because we've been highlighting Pierre Poilievre. I said it right, didn't I? Oh my gosh. But I love this guy uses Canadian like a derogatory term. Like it's one of the other four-letter words that he's been saying. And then this has to be a new thing for athletes, for politicians. Whenever somebody asks a question, they should just say, wait, are you a liberal? They should just ask that. And I love the reporter. I didn't vote for Trudeau. Okay, go ahead.
Say you're liberal for Trudeau.
No. I said I did not vote for Trudeau.
Oh, there we go. This guy's the man. This not the guy. This guy's for the opposition, man. Who gave this guy a press badge? And like, you look at me and I'm an asshole. I'm making fun of this liberal, like, no offense, man. I mean,
No
I guess we need liberals, kind of, maybe not. But you look at me and I say hard like I make fun of my co-main event. I say hard I'm like, oh, Sean, I'm not an asshole. And I say everything. I'm just saying what you're thinking.
I did want to ask, you're in Toronto. Welcome. Glad to hear it. It's been great.
Are you Canadian?
Of course I am.
Are you part of the opposition? Are you?
I don't know how to phrase that.
I mean, you got like, yeah.
Well, I did want to ask.
Did you vote for Trudeau?
I'm not going to say.
And let me tell you something right.
That's a yes. That's a yes. By the way, this is the gold exchange right here. This is the one that we've been waiting for. But I do love that. Did you vote for Trudeau? I'm not going to say. Well, you just said, dude. All right.
Right now, if a man says he's not going to say, like, if you ask him, did you vote for Biden? He's like, well, I'm not going to say. That's none of your business. He voted for Biden. So, hey,
John, I'm glad you've had great experiences.
So this is what I'm talking about, you guys. The enemy of Canada. All right.
That's what it's got to be. It's got to be. We've got a pretty supportive gay and lesbian community in this city. I did want to ask you about something you wrote a couple of years ago. You said if I had a gay son, I would think I'd.
Oh, look, another. I'm saying the swamp, you guys, the swamp.
You become a champion, you become a star, and someone.
Let me ask you something. Are you gay?
Have you had the chance to
No,
interact with a more diverse?
Are you? Let me know. Are you gay?
Can I get an answer?
Well, no, I'm asking. This is a part of. Are you a gay man?
I'm an ally of the community.
Okay. If you had a son and he was like, you had a son, he was gay, you'd be like, oh man, you don't want a grandkid?
No problem with it.
Oh man, well, dude, you're a weak man, dude. You're part of the problem. You elected Justin Trudeau. Like, when he sees the bank accounts, like you're just pathetic. And the fact that you have no backbone and has he shut down your country and seized bank accounts? You ask me some stupid like that, go yourself. Move the on, man.
I feel like that doesn't really answer the question, but I did want to ask also things you said about the trans community. You said this past October when they announced the Bud Light sponsorship that you'd go so hard on Bud Light in your next fight, they'll have to accept me or denounce me when they know what and will know what they stand for. Are you?
This guy's like, hey, this Canadian's not that Canadian.
Are you still going to use your fight time to kind of speak on that?
By the way, I just want to point out for those of you who are watching this and observing, this is also a blatant attempt by this reporter to try to get Sean Strickland canceled, because you see Bud Light is now a major sponsor for UFC. You may have saw that news about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, where the CEO of UFC said, yeah, fine, we'll take Bud Light's money. And so he's specifically trying to draw a wedge here and get this guy into trouble. And so now let's see how politically correct Sean Strickland decides to be here. Let's see if he's worried about angering the powers that be at UFC by actually saying that, yeah, Bud Light's got a problem because of Dylan Mulvaney. Let's see.
Here's the thing about Bud Light. 10 years ago, to be trans was a mental illness. And now all of a sudden, people like you have weaseled your way into the world. You are an infection. You are the definition of weakness. Everything that is wrong with the world is because of you. And the best thing is the world's not buying it. The world's not buying your bullshit you're peddling. The world is not saying, you know what? You're right. Chicks have. The world's not saying that. The world's saying, no, there are two genders. I don't want my kids being taught about, who they could in school. I don't want my kids being taught about, their sexual preference. Like, dude, this guy is the enemy. You want to look at the enemy to our world? It's that mother right there, asking these stupid questions. Sorry, I told the UFC I was being nicer. Lance, am I still good with this? Did I cross any lines? A little. What the? I didn't say the F word.
All right. I think we had enough. I think we've had enough. Listen, I'm not going to suggest that this is some sort of master class in how to deal with the hostile media, that other people, Republicans, politicians should sort of follow the lead. I don't think you need to go that hard. But I think keeping it real and actually calling out the people who are asking you questions for the agenda that they're obviously trying to inject into the narrative, like creating the narrative and pushing their own narrative through their questions. It's obvious what they're trying to do. Vivek Ramaswamy was brilliant at figuring it out and pointing it out and turning the tables on the media and calling them out on it. And I think that there is a way to do it, because this is where we are now. This is exactly where we are. And the media, they're not trying to get answers to questions so that they can inform their readers or their viewers or their listeners. They're trying to change our society. And if somebody like Sean Strickland is on the wrong side of an issue, they're trying to destroy their lives. And there is something cathartic to watch a man who just doesn't give a crap.